Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm going to give it a minute for everybody to come back in. I do apologize for that. My internet just went out because, well, why wouldn't it go out, right? Let me make sure y'all can hear me. No, it was me. I'm sorry. Y'all can hear me? Okay, great. Great. All right. We're going to go ahead. We're going to give it just a second for everybody to pop back in here. And then we'll go ahead and get started. It was my internet. Y'all know it's going to be my internet because I got the worst luck. The worst luck. The amount of time I refresh waiting for it. I'm so sorry. Let me get this link and go to the other one and post it in the other one. Copy link. All right, let's see. I swear. Y'all know I have the worst luck on this stuff. All right.
If you have a side gig and
That chat is. All right. I want to make sure we give everybody time to come in. I can't. This is crazy. All right, guys. Hey, everyone. Hey. I'm so sorry. We're gonna go ahead and get back into it because I do want to cover her second live. I am giving her the benefit of the doubt. For people want to be like, she just wants to attack her. No, I don't. It's not me to want to attack anyone. I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But I absolutely saw things with Dre that concerned me, that made me feel like this isn't right. I don't agree with some of the ways that she parented her child, but that's her decision. As long as it wasn't hurting them, that's okay. If she gave her kids the KT, which her son Raza talked about it, there were pictures of her kids dousing things back in their mouth. If that's not what it was and it was something that they were okay with, that's okay. And something that kids could take, that's fine. All right. So let's go. We're going to finish. Creators painted a horrible picture of this woman. All should be ashamed of doing that to her. I I want to be clear. I painted the picture that I perceived of her myself. I'm not going along with any other creator. Um, I watched her content. I think I watched every video that she had on every one of her YouTube channels. She has like three, and her Facebook page. I mean, I took days. I mean, I have a whole notebook of, of, of me watching her content and writing my notes. I did not just say, oh, this creator saying XYZ about her. So that's what I'm going to say. I drew my opinion. I mean, I think her and Vaughn had a very loving relationship from what we saw. But, and no couple's perfect. No person's perfect. I'm not. Um, well, that's my thing though. That's my thing is if CPS tested the kids now, and at one point she gave them, because Raza said, like, no, the case stuff, that stuff is what you give me every day. She's like, no. If I was to go back and watch and see on the box that it was the passion flower, then I would say, and here's the thing, she's been cleared by the police and CPS. My opinion is that she was a little too controlling. My opinion, she broke the law. I know she broke the law because, and I'm saying she broke the law when she was talking about smuggling Xanax across the border. I commented on that. When I accused her of breaking the law, I based it off what I saw and said because of this. Was that older stuff? Sure, and I made everyone aware of what it was. You know what I'm saying? Um, but CPS, I don't even know if kratom shows up when you drug test anyone. And unfortunately, yeah, I mean, when you put your life, that's why people critique me and go after me. And I do not believe in like attacking someone and showing up at their house and following their local police department. I don't do things like that. It's not my style. Other people may do it. It's scary. The internet is a scary place because you deal with crazy people. She said that she had someone say they were going to go protest outside her mom's house. Yes, she is live right now. She's doing a makeup live, and we're gonna watch that one after this one. Um, I don't know why she had to do that. I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna watch this. Anybody that thinks that I attacked Dre, I can't recall ever attacking Dre. I just had an opinion based off what I seen from her. There were some things that I didn't agree with. She's saying people shouldn't go after her. Yeah, she's hurting Von's parents. I mean, people have their opinion, you know. I mean, when you have her whole life basically it was like a reality TV show through Facebook. We saw her kids. She told us that, you know, when I went back watching it, while I wasn't watching it when everyone else was, um, I felt like I was watching a reality show half the time. You know, I mean, it's gonna be discussed. Now, her coming forward and putting her life back out there, people could see her as a human again and sympathize with things. Um, and I'm sympathizing with some things. And, you know, to hear her say that someone threatened to dress up as a nurse and go to hospitals to see if Vaughn was at the hospitals, I was like, whoa, that's too much. Unfortunately, people on the internet are crazy and they are too much. I've seen that myself. It's not okay. But I formed my opinion based off Dre, off what I watched of her. Older videos, newer videos. I don't feel like I've attacked her at all. But let's go ahead. Let's finish watching this and then we'll do the second live.
Videos. I'm gonna do cooking videos. I don't think a majority of it is gonna be about Vaughn because of how bad it was. I need it to be a place where other influencers are gonna be man enough or grown enough or sympathetic enough to say, you know what, she's right. Even though I don't like Dre, she is a mom and a wife. That's Raza's mom. That's Bella's mom. That's Oasis's mom, and that's Marvan's wife, and that's Marvan's caregiver. She, regardless of what we feel, she still is responsible for those souls. The next few days, or however long, I'm gonna be talking about a lot of things, a lot. But right now, give me 1 second. I'm gonna get into why Vaughn's in the hospital and why this is so serious. I love you, Jesse. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Ashley McKnight. Okay. There is someone that works at the care home that Vaughn is at. There's only 4 people there. You know, it was really sad when Vaughn's mother put out that really whack. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Excuse me. I don't want to be petty. I don't. And I'm trying to put my nuck if you buck side away. So bear with me, please.
All day.
When Vaughn's mother
I got one of them sides too. I'm usually pretty nice, but you guys saw a while ago the Nook If You Buck when Trisha came into the chat. Look, I'm usually pretty nice. That's going to be used against me. Unirock and them, they're going to play where I was kind of giving it to Trisha earlier. They'll be like, look, she ain't nice. No, because I'm a Nook If You Buck type of person. Like, you come in here, I'm going to try to be nice. But if you keep on, I'm going to answer your questions. But if you keep on, go ahead. Like, come on. That's why I invited Trisha up on the scene. That's why I invite Nonsense. That's why I invite Unirock, because I am a Nook If You Buck. Like, if I see you up in person, I'm here for it all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? I will be nice, but if you lie on me and you come in my chat and you lying on me and you say, what about this? And I say, well, no, it was that way. And you keep on and you keep on and you keep on and you can't even reason with someone, then I'm going to say all day, come on here. Come on here, let's talk about it. Or if I knew I could get face to face with you, I would get face to face with you all day. I can't wait for the day. Let me tell you guys, if I'm ever in a position financially where my ass can fly to wherever the hell Unirock lives, I will face him. Me and my husband both will. And we will do it on camera. We will be live on Facebook. And I'll be ready all day. We got 6 kids that depend on us, and a flight that far costs some money. Unirock wants to talk about, I invited her. You gonna pay for it? Because if you pay for it, I'm down. I'll do it today. He ain't gonna pay for it, though, because he's begging for super chats to pay for his vapes. You know what I'm saying? But I am that type. I'm nice. I'm nice. But if you mess with me, I'll get there all day long. So I felt her when she said, take back that Nook If You Buck. That's hilarious. Because I felt that in my soul.
Did that poem, it was intentionally to create negative feelings for you to have towards me. Vaughn was in an assisted living with 4 people in a house in the mountains, which is why it's I would imagine, which is why it's so expensive. Huge house. It was so, I mean, going there, it was always nice. I feel there's no wonder why Vaughn was healing. I mean, we're around beautiful, I don't want to say plants, but yeah, plants. I don't want to say greenery because it's a lot of green, but also like cactuses. Like, it's a desert. I love the desert, but we're in the mountains. The air feels fresh and crisp, you know? And I visit him every day and nobody knows where we're at, you know? Like, it's so good. My children go see their dad. Like, we spend time with him. It feels good. It feels great. I would be able to see him all the time, and it was nice. And because there's only 4 people, he got very good attention. They were on it. And I really like how, although they might not have seen what I seen, which is, for me, I seen so many great things for Vaughn. I've always, that's my baby. I'm always going to fight for his life. What? So, even though they might have felt differently, they supported me. And I fought so hard to get my husband to have foods that were approved, like CMOS. I fought for months for Vaughn to get CMOS, and he finally was able to get CMOS. Like, what? Are you kidding me? And then I tried so hard for Vaughn to get moringa powder, and he got moringa powder, and he would take it every day. 2 tablespoons CMOS in the morning, moringa powder in the evening. And then right before he got into the hospital, ashwagandha was added to the list. And Vaughn, he would have purple onion tea every day. like, duh, what do you expect him to do whenever he's on something so good, you know? It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm not the type to hold on to negativity. How can you hold on to negativity and expect positive things to happen? That doesn't make sense. they repel. Okay? So I need to have a good positive mindset, and I always have with my husband. And I always tell him, baby, as long as you keep fighting, I'm going to keep fighting. And when you feel like it's too much, then baby, I will give you your dignity and we'll go from there. But he continues to fight. After 4 months, Fawn started making noises. Like someone that's supposed to never talk again, never walk again, never speak again, never, like, ventilator for the rest of his life. He started like, I say talking, you know, he started talking, but it's like noises, like like he does that. And I'm like, what?
That's huge.
It was the most amazing thing. And it was the most amazing thing to me that I paid for a song to be written in honor of that, so that I could play it for my baby, so he can know how proud I am of him and how much it meant to me to hear his voice and how much I long for him to say I love you again. But there's so many milestones that he would hit. And then the most recent milestone, I ain't even gonna say. But I'm just like, what the? It's amazing how the lights that were turned off are turning back on. You know? I am witnessing a miracle. Like, what? It's amazing. And I see him every day. So I'm by his side witnessing it every day. Breathing life into my baby. Every day he gets red light therapy. Every day he gets his aromatherapy. Every day he gets massages. That man he is loved beyond measured. And it shows in the level of care that he gets. Until recently. My heart, dude. I can. Do you hear the rain? Do you guys want to hear it? Oh, hold on. I don't think I can. Do you guys want to hear? Do you hear that?
Yeah, baby? Tell me more.
That's so bomb. He's doing amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. The milestones that he's making, the things that doctors said he would never do, and he's doing, and it's incredible. And he's my whole heart and soul. Which is why I'm so disturbed at this setback, because he was doing great and he was healing, and I even found a neurology place that is going to do the hyperbaric chamber on him, or they will put him in the hyperbaric chamber. I've already toured the facility. I told them about my husband's condition, and they're ready. They're like, hey, you get him here, we'll do our job. 5 days a week, hyperbaric chamber. So I've been trying so hard to get the VA to approve that. I need a referral, and that's really, it's been a fight that I haven't won yet.
Hold up. Isn't that where they put you in like this chamber and it's cold as a polar bear's toenails? Isn't that like, because I don't like to be cold. So God forbid, I hope to God nothing ever happens to me like that, but don't ever put me in no cold chamber. That's here. This is what I want to say. Anybody that's coming in, hold on. Anybody that's coming into the chat, everybody's sharing their opinion. We have told people do not comment on her looks. You know, we're not going to say that she's ugly. I actually think she looks good. Really, I think she looks good here. It's oxygen. Is it cold though? It's cold, right? That probably would be good for him. But we try to allow people to have opinions here, even if it's different than ours, as long as it's not like, as long as everybody's nice to each other. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I was thinking of you putting you in this chamber and it's super freezing. Okay, because I'm like, don't ever do that to me. So anybody that comes in here and you're reading the comments, I just know that I cannot see all the comments, but we try. My mods tell people, be nice, keep your opinions, nice. We don't attack looks. We don't, go for things that some other YouTubers like to go for, like when they say that I'm ugly or that my lips look stupid. We try not to do that. If your opinion is that her eyelashes are not your style, we would let that comment go, because you're not saying she looks stupid with her eyelashes, just that it's not your style. So we're trying to be respectful. I've always had a channel where I try to give people the ability to express their own opinion, even if it's different than mine, as long as they're nice.
But Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, my husband was withheld his food and water. And I know this because of the severe dehydrated state that he was in the following day. He did not look the same, and I was very concerned for the way he looked. I'm with him every day. This was not normal. It was bad. And I think right now I'm going to leave out a lot of certain details, but he had lost 5 pounds that night and gained it right back the next day. And 12 hours later, not even like the next day, not like 24 hours, 12 hours later. And I said, I know that, watch, you weigh him again, he's going to weigh 5 pounds, because people don't lose 5 pounds overnight. That don't make no sense. Watch, he's going to weigh more. And certainly enough, he did. And because he was so dried out, the tube that's in his belly, the JG tube, I would imagine his organs being so dry from being so dehydrated that he shriveled up. And now that cord is kinked. Because of the severe dehydrated state that this person left my husband in, he's not even in the condition to get surgery to fix it. That peg tube is for his water, it's for his food, it's what keeps him going. And he can't even have it through there no more. So this is certainly a different change of events now.
Hold up. So he's not in the mountains, because she was like, he's in the mountains. He's in the mountains. But she said he had to go back into the hospital. But a while ago, she was saying he's in the mountains. So did this happen? I'm confused on where this happened at, because she was saying he's in the mountains. I'm confused. I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused. I don't know. Because I thought she was saying in the VA hospital is where he got the bed sore and the injury, stage 2 injury. Then she was saying something about him being in the mountains and it's beautiful. But then she's now, but she's saying he's back into the hospital, so I'm a little confused. So was it at this beautiful place in the mountains that he got hurt and he had to go back into the hospital?
No. And this is bad enough to make me want to come back on social media after I was like, I'm out. No thanks. I don't want no part of this. And so now he's in the hospital, and they weren't giving him what he needed. He went from being super dehydrated. He went to the hospital. His veins were flat. Got an ultrasound machine, couldn't even do it because his veins were flat. Finally, they called a specialist. She got an IV in. Immediately pumped him with 3 liters of fluid, back to back to back. Then he gets admitted, and within a couple days, I noticed, why doesn't he have water hanging? Like, why is his urine looking brown? Why is his heart rate doing this? And it was bad. And I feel like by the grace of God, his heart rate is settled again. Now he's on something called TPN. So it's giving nutrition through his veins. And it's really up to his body to get strong enough again to be able to withstand surgery so that they can fix it. And that's where we're at right now. After Vaughn progressed, after Vaughn hit all these milestones, after Vaughn was able to get off the ventilator by himself, he wasn't supposed to do that. After Vaughn was able to start expressing himself through tears, after Vaughn was able to start using his voice, after Vaughn was able to start opening his eyes, after Vaughn was able to start communicating with me in other different ways, after Marvon was able to stare in my eyes and bat his lashes as his way of just making me feel some type of way, to now back to this. All of the milestones that we hit, and we're back to here. I think it's absolutely disgusting for people to say anything negative about my husband, especially regarding whether he should be alive or not.
That's, yeah, what?
That's the most vile, demonic.
I can tell you, I have not personally heard no one say that Vaughn should not be alive. She may be referencing, people saying, oh, he's in a vegetative state, he'll never do better, she should just let him go. So maybe that's what she's referencing, because I'm thinking maybe she's seen someone say that Vaughn shouldn't be alive. She may, that's not the same bee, Miss Italy D. The bee that's my mod, I don't think she was ever, there's multiple bees. I have 2 bees in my channel, 2 different ones. So I think you might be referencing a different bee. But if, I couldn't imagine this being my husband, and I'm one of those that I would hold on to my husband. And I'm one of those that if I ever was in a vegetative state and it was a question of, do you take me off the vent? Don't take me off that vent. You better leave it on me as long as they will let you, because I'm trying to see if I can come back. I'm one of those people, and I would not take my husband off the vent. She may be referencing to that. She may be referencing to that, maybe people saying, oh, he's in a vegetative state, he'll never be better, just let him go. I don't know, but I couldn't do that. I could not give up on my husband. I wouldn't. I couldn't. But Sean is the type that's like, let me go. He said, if I ever end up in that state, let me go. But I don't think I could.
Low frequency garbage. It's so vile. Nobody's over here wiping my husband's butt. Let's keep it real. Nobody's here paying for him to get the care that he needs. Nobody's by his side every single day. Every single day. I have to make him a fresh batch of CMOS every 3 days, because although it lasts 3 weeks, that's what the VA wants me to do, so that's what I'll do. I spend a whole lot of money. His food, I pay over $600 a month on that because it's not covered by insurance. Kate Farms, he's doing great on the Kate Farms. The vegan formula, he's doing great. All out of pocket. And I do it without batting my eye, with no hesitation. Take all my money. Whatever we can do to help give this man a fighting chance, because he wants to live, that's his choice. I'm not forcing him to push boundaries his body doesn't want to. I'm not prolonging or holding on to something that ain't real. I hold on to hope and I'm positive, but if he shows me he has a will to live, then I am going to create a safe place in order for him to do so. The fact that that safe place has been compromised, I will take this to the highest extent possible. APS is involved now, and they are aware. And there is an investigation. And the care home, they are aware. And the person that did this, I'm sure she was all up to date with all the stuff. I'm almost certain that the reason why she felt what she did is because of all the things she heard online. What happened online, the crucifixion of me, that negatively affected Vaughn's care. It had a direct effect on it. Here, moving forward, let's keep social media safe, because no matter how you feel, you express it online, other people eat into it. And negativity, everybody, a lot of people jump on the bandwagon, and a lot of people love that train. It's fun for them. That's not fair to my children. I'm the parent that they rely on because their biological father has failed them. And now their dad now is not in the condition to be there in the fullest extent that they need. But we look and we have such a positive mindset. You know what's sad? Actually, dude, my makeup is just so crazy. My eyelash is like coming off. I don't want to look like this the first day I come back to social media. But there was been such a change of events that
I think she looks good, honestly. I love long lashes. I'm a long lash type of girl. So the bigger the better. I want my lashes to touch the top of my head when I blink. I'm just kidding. But I think she looks good. I've seen a lot of people say that, and I think she seems like she's put on just a tad bit of weight that makes her look healthy again. Like the way she was when all this happened, to me, she seemed a little unhealthy, like a little skinny unhealthy. But I think she looks good. You know, she's saying she doesn't look good. I think she looks good.
I wasn't going to come back to social media to fight with people I don't even know, that don't even know me, that have the audacity to post body cam footage. Are you kidding me? How sick do you have to be? And you know what I really think the issue is that as people can have all the things.
The body cam footage, I did post that, but I tried to redact some of it. And I will say this. I personally thought the body cam footage showed, because, and I said this, when they said they're taking him to the hospital because they got a heartbeat, she jumped up. And I said, I think she thought he was deceased. Like, I think she thought he was dead. And then when she heard that he wasn't, to me, it seemed like, oh my God, he's alive. Like, he gave her hope. And other people disagreed. Other people was like, oh, she looked shocked, like she was scared, like, so, but I was trying to put myself in her position. And if I found my husband like that, and if I thought he was gone, and then they told me, um, that he was still, that they had a heartbeat, I think I would do the same thing. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't talk to her running her down. I thought the only thing that I kind of disagreed with was at the end. It did seem like it took her a little bit. I would have asked, can I ride in the ambulance with my husband? And I know a lot of people saying she had to deal with her kids. She had to get her kids situated. I would have been like, kids, I'll be back. I would have, because we saw on the body cam, like one cop went to his car, sat there for a while, come back, and she's in a whole different outfit. She still hadn't left to go to the hospital. So, just me personally, I would have tried to ride in the hospital, or I would have been following that ambulance right there. The kids stay by themselves all the time. The kids stayed by themselves for Dre and Vaughn to go to Vegas for a paparazzi event for days. So it ain't like she didn't leave the kids home. She could have left them there. Her mom was on her way. She could have just said, you know what I'm saying? So I did kind of critique her on that a little bit and say, if it was me, I would have did it this way. But I personally thought the body cam footage showed, humanized her in this situation a little bit, and showed she thought her husband was gone. And when she thought that, oh my God, he's alive, I saw that shock in her face of hope. That's what I got from it. Other people got different, and that's okay. That's everybody's decision. But on true crime channels, you see body cam footage all the time, and this is a true crime channel, so I played body cam footage of the Alec Murdaugh murders the other day, when his son and wife was killed, and I'm sure it can seem intrusive for some people, absolutely, but I thought it kind of showed, in my opinion, more. I don't know. To me, I saw a woman that was scared, didn't know what the hell to do, and when she was told that her husband had a heartbeat, she seemed like that gave her hope. So I don't know.
People can have a whole husband, a whole marriage, a whole house, all these things, and still be so unhappy. And yet they see me happy with my husband, even in the bed-bound state that he's in. I couldn't be more happy and grateful that he is here alive with me today. And yet I still think people are jealous of that fact, that I'm happy with my current state. That's what it is. And people's jealousy, it shows. And they show it in different ways by attacking me. And it's not okay. Let the fact that the police closed the investigation, the fact that CPS ain't taking away my children, the fact that APS ain't never stopped me from seeing my husband, the fact that I have never gotten kicked out of no hospital, the fact that everybody that knows me in real life, I've never lost anyone that's close to me in my real life. People that went on the internet that would talk and supposedly close to me, they were out of my life for years. That wasn't something that they weren't even close. 2, 3, 4 years. Like, this is people that were not even in my life. All the people that acted like they know me, those are from my past. That's not even, they wouldn't have any information on what's happening now, like, at all. Anybody that ever said they have an update, it was never accurate. I don't think there's ever been anyone that has posted anything accurate, especially my children taking tea that starts with a K. Supposedly a video, and I thought it must have been passion flower, because there ain't no way there's no video. That's not even possible. The passion flower, yeah, it could be possible. There's a video of that because my children take it, yes. But that was ginger, dude. The video that circulated was my children taking ginger. That's what it was. Ginger. And yet people can say whatever they want, and then the internet runs with it. It's true. Crazy. It's crazy. Every person that investigated my family, I always got compliments on how strong of a woman I am, how incredible my children are. and how, keep it up. Keep it up. Nobody should be criminalized for choosing to feed their children fruits and vegetables and giving them foods that are going to contribute to their healing, not detriment. But that's going to be discussed in another live further down the road. I feel like I've said all that needed to be said, and I know I'm kind of like everywhere. This was not planned. I was planning on doing pre-recorded videos only. Ain't no updates on Vaughn. I was only going to talk about what was already out to give people the actual truth, actual, real. But no. This is different. Now, for the first time, now this is the hardest time in my life. Now this is. I hold on to hope. I hold on to my faith. And that kept me going all these months. And it's going to continue to keep me going. But it wasn't no false hope back then. That was me really, truly feeling like my husband's got this. And the fact that that opportunity could be taken away from him from someone else's negligence and it being swept under the rug and my husband possibly not coming back from this. Are you kidding me? That does something to me that is, yeah. But as I said, I'm getting help for this. I have an incredible doctor. She's giving me this homeopathic stuff that is working wonders on me. And it's helping me to be able to function with the pain that I feel. Because this started Thursday. And it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like, every single day has been so intense. Like, it's been hard. And I just want to be able to have a safe place where I can go back to cooking live. You know, where I could do my makeup. Where we could talk about things, you know. I want to vibe with people that want to vibe with me. That's it. Whatever you feel, I'm sorry that you feel. But please, if I'm not your cup of tea, don't force yourself to be here. And the negativity that is spread, it has a direct effect on my family. So please leave my family alone. Stop trying to profit off of my husband's tragedy. Y'all already made a lot of money. And none of it went towards my husband's care. And that's the thing. None of it went towards him staying in that house. Never once did I go live asking nobody for money. I never said, hey, y'all donate to this. Never, not once. Throughout all of this. And yet, so many people have profited off of lying about sharing things that should never be out to the public. And spreading things, that's not okay. And I don't have a lawyer. Again, just in case. Anybody who ever said I had a lawyer, like anything that they've ever said, question. Because they don't have the facts. I'm not suing anyone right now. My whole entire energy has been on my husband and my children. That's it. My husband, my children, my God. That is my circle. That's my, what I focus my energy and attention on. And what other people say about me is none of my business. So I try not to even indulge. I don't watch no videos. I don't even want to know. My friends tell me a need to know basis. They don't go tell me when stuff pops off. I go to them like, hey, this family member's calling me and they only call me when something's happening on social media. Did something happen? And then all of a sudden I hear, oh yeah, this rumor is being spread now about Vaughn no longer being here. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
I'm reading comments.
And while
I'm reading the comments, that's why I was laughing, you guys.
Vaughn is literally, he was doing great at that moment. That rumor was spread. He was doing good.
And I just want to say, that's a sad thing. I started covering the Vine case. I introduced my audience to the Vine case. So I wanted to continue covering it. My people were invested in it. I mean, you guys, obviously everybody here is invested in the story, and you guys want to know, is he okay? Is he not okay? You guys want to know. And I wholeheartedly feel like we know someone faked that article. We know that. We know that. That was a hoax. The person that wrote that article, they set it up to look like a news broadcast article. They set it up where it was like in NPS. They literally set the whole site up to look like a news site and said that he died. I absolutely believe the person that did this did it knowing certain creators are going to hear about this. They'll get this clip. They'll get this screenshot. They'll read it. They'll think that it's real. They'll go live. They'll tell their audience that Vaughn died. And then I can come back and say it was a hoax because the same article that said he died made another article saying there was a hoax using the same MBS whatever, fake logos and stuff. It was the same person using the same, he died, oh, it was a hoax. So I absolutely think the person did it with the intent to make certain creators that was covering this story look like liars. We weren't trying to lie. I know I wasn't. I would never put out information that somebody died if I had any inkling that it was false information. Do you need me, babe?
No, I just need to know about how much longer you're going to be because I got...
I'll let you know. I'm not sure. I can't see the time on this video, but I'll let you know. And that's the sad part. The terrible thing was not the creators that went live to tell the people that they introduced this story to that, hey, it looks like he passed away. I had people email me all the time. Have you heard an update on Vaughn? How's Vaughn? I don't know. I'm sorry. As soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know. I thought I verified it. I thought, well, this looks like a news article. I mean, I was trying to verify it other ways, but that looked legit. It really did. The sad part is not that I believed it and then I went live and I told you guys about it. The sad part is that somebody faked that to make others look bad, to make others look like they didn't know what they were doing. That is the real sad part. When I realized my mistake, when I realized that it was a hoax, I was not where I could jump on a live stream at the time. So I jumped on my community tab and I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys. I can't go live right now. I have 6 kids. We're at ball games. We have football. We have basketball. We have dance. We're always going on the weekends. I could not get on live at that moment. So I made a community post apologizing. And then that Monday, I did a live stream and I said, I'm sorry. That was not real. And I apologized. And I said I was wrong. But what the really nasty thing is somebody faked that and they faked it to make other people look bad. I mean, you got to ask yourself, what kind of person does that? They didn't care about the family. That person didn't care about the family when they were faking an article saying that he died. All they cared about was to make other people look stupid. That's what they cared about.
I mean, like Vaughn, his room at the house in the mountains, double doors to the outside. The outside is beautiful. I have videos of the outside that I am going to show, just to show how incredible that house is. Like, it's amazing. The outside view where Vaughn was at in the mountains was no wonder why he was healing. Of course. How can you not? It's a great place to be. Hold on.
I was told that Vaughn's family knew already. I was told that Miss Letitia not Miss Letitia, but Miss Wynette received a text a few days earlier from the nurse from the hospital saying, I'm so sorry to hear about Vaughn. So I was of the understanding that they knew. I've never had a conversation with Miss Letitia or Ma Vaughn Sr. outside of O'Malley's panel. I don't have their numbers. I don't talk to them. Like, I was told they already knew. Or I never would have went live talking about that.
That's so evil. Sweet woman, brain cells do not renew themselves because of lack of oxygen. Okay, that was a really harmful thing to say and hurtful. I don't know what made you want to say that or what made you think that that would help me out. I hope that you really just think about the effect that your words have on people. Because Vaughn is special enough to be loved even now. Despite him being in this state that he's in, the way that it's funny. The girls, it's so funny. Because Vaughn, the way he has a whole personality. Y'all just don't know. Y'all, it's just crazy. So many people said I showed all of my life. Like, what? I didn't even show half. Not even a quarter. Like, I would go live almost every day, but there's 24 hours in a day, boo. Like, let's just say I went live for 4 hours in a day. That's 20 hours I'm not live. And yet people want to act like they know everything that happens behind closed doors when 20 plus hours a day, y'all don't even know what happens. It's crazy how people swear they knew. I show everything. No, I don't. No, I don't. There's so much that people don't see. But regardless, Vaughn did not have any function after this. He was completely gone. He went from that to eyes open, making noises, opening his eyes, batting his eyelashes at me, like pulling me. He pulls me. I hold his hands and I move it, and then he's already pulling me towards him. There's so many things that he does that you can't tell me, oh, he's gone forever. No, he's not. And it's shown. But I don't need to tell you that. I just need to know and have faith that he will. And it's amazing to see. And my children, this builds up their faith. That although this is what's going to be said in the medical textbooks, and this is probably what doctors like. Look at the human body and how incredible it was made. It's amazing. Thank you, Ashley Robert Hunt. I appreciate that. How was the first visit? I don't remember the first visit, honestly. I don't remember, but I mean, the children, they would see videos of him all the time, so it's not like when they visited him. Oh wait, no, I remember when Rasa did. He was at the step down hospital, and it was so sweet. It was really sweet. I think I don't want to share that because I want to hold it because it seems like anything I share, like, look at the nastiness that's still online, you know? It's awful. So there's certain things that I want to hold dear to my heart, and that's one. I remember now. And it was beautiful, and I did record it. Maybe in time we'll share it, but as of right now, it's special to me. Hi, Stephanie. I miss you. Thank you for praying for us, Jessica. I really appreciate it. Christy Brown, I love you so much, Christy. I was in a coma on oxygen and came back breathing again on my own. It's possible, dude. Beverly Halls on TikTok. I think that's what I just started following her. I've seen her videos before, but something came in my feed and her son almost lost his life. And seeing that, it was like, oh my gosh. Seeing how strong her faith was, it's like, that's the type of energy I need to be around. Not these people who ain't got no faith, that believe that whatever a doctor says, that is like God's speaking. No. A doctor is going to speak on what his profession is. He can create life. Doctors did not create life, God did. So despite what doctors can do, it's a limit. I am so grateful for the medical field. I'm so grateful for the doctors, for the nurses, for the home care team, like every single person. I am so grateful for. And anybody that takes care of my husband, I always thank them. Every single time. Thank you for taking care of him. Ow. But what they say doesn't mean that's how it's going to be. Vaughn's already proved them wrong. And you know what? Another lie that's out there is that Vaughn was brain blank. No, he was never. A doctor never told me he was brain DEAD. Never, not once has a doctor ever told me that. Vaughn has always had brain activity, which is why that was even more confusing, why they wanted me to pull the plug. Because why would I do that when he has brain activity? That was confusing to me. It's like, it would be one thing if he was, but he wasn't. He had brain activity, but he would have pauses in it. That was it. It was a pause. Brain activity, pause. That was it. Recently, he had another EEG, no more pauses. It's just suppressed brain activity. That's what it is now. That's what the doctor called it. Suppressed brain activity. And it was a completely different neurologist, completely different hospital that said this. And I'm like, good. Thank you. Because I knew he would heal. And everybody wanted to make it seem like I'm crazy, like I'm holding on to false hope. Let me not say everybody, because it wasn't everybody. It was people that didn't know me. But I continued to breathe life into my husband. I knew that he would get better. And look, so you can't tell me otherwise. Your words are empty, so to speak, because I have witnessed something completely different. And Vaughn being so strong, even now, the fact that he's still fighting, bro, I hope tomorrow it's a good news report. But tomorrow, I don't know what it's going to be like when I walk in the hospital. I don't know if his body is going to, because TPN, it has sugar in it. His body, if there's an infection, the sugar's going to feed it. This is not long-term. TPN is not for long-term care. So his body needs to absorb the nutrients from this, and he needs to hydrate in order for him to get well. So this is very serious. But just like I said before, my husband's going to get better. He's going to do it now. And I am looking for a house to be in so badly because I want my husband home. I want to be able to take care of him myself instead of leaving my children every single day. And they are so supportive of me because I'm trying to balance being a wife and a mom, trying to take care of a man who can't do nothing for himself. I do it lovingly and willingly, but it's a lot of work because he can't do anything for himself. And then I'm trying to make sure I take care of my children, make sure that they're up on their homeschooling, which is crazy that people said that my children are not in school. It's like, what? What's even crazier is that there was someone that's close to my children that believed that they weren't in school and even wrote that down on court documents saying that and referenced Facebook as a as proof, a Facebook post. I'm like, that's sad. If you didn't know that these children were or were not in school, shame on you. You should know that. You should know that. You should know better. That goes to speak at how involved you are in their life. Come on now. The fact that it could actually be believed that my children aren't seeing a doctor. Are you kidding me? And another thing that people would say that would lie is CPS told me I have 10 days to take my children to a doctor. What? No, they didn't. That was never said to me.
I'm glad, if these things are true. Here's the thing. You got to decide. Do you take her for being honest with all these things? If your kids don't go to the doctors, I mean, they do need to keep up with their appointments, but you are not obligated to give your kids vaccinations. So, I don't know. I kind of did believe, like, if CPS started investigating and they had not been to a doctor's appointment in years, especially for an investigation, I did believe, well, they may be being investigated by CPS for whatever reason. The suicide or people calling. I did believe that could be a possibility. But she's saying that didn't happen. And if that's the truth, you just can't understand things if you don't know. You got to be able to know.
I went to a doctor like 2 weeks before CPS ever got involved. So they never had even said anything like that. Whoever said that lied to you. That was another lie that was made up. I talked to CPS because they came. They didn't just talk to me. They talked to my parents. They talked to my mom. They talked to my dad. They talked to Bella, Oasis, and Raza for a little bit. But they eased up because Raza was not comfortable with them whatsoever. And Raza kept trying to get in my arms. And I tell Raza, come on, honey, like, let's sit down. Okay, mommy, they have to ask you, all these things, whatever. He's like, okay. But then when it was time for me to walk away, he was like, no, stranger danger. And that was enough for them. Like, there's so many things. Like, there's one time I went live with Slay Mafia, which I'm going to be there live after her here. And thank you, because without Slay Mafia, like, I know I haven't been there for content. I'm shocked that there's so many people that are still there. Like, shocked. But I don't know. I don't want to say I shouldn't be, but it is shocking whenever there's so many people that you thought were, like, supportive and you had a connection, and then you realize, oh, I guess that was not real. You kind of just don't know if you are liked or cared for anymore, by certain people.
So the update that she gave us was that when the reports came out that he was deceased, he was actually doing better than he ever did. She said he got to the point where both of his eyes were open, that he would kind of bat his eyes at her. He would make grunting noises. He was getting, taken care of, massages daily. But then he was transferred, and the workers were not, he got dehydrated, he got a bed sore, and he is back in the hospital. She said since the dehydration and the bed sore, he's back in the hospital and he's not doing as good as he was doing. He's kind of reverted from what I understand, but she is kind of all over the place and talking, but it's her first time back and a lot has went on. So I don't even remember when I returned to social media after like 3 months. I might have been all over the place as well. I don't even know,
But the fact that for all these months, I'm just like, wow, that meant a lot to me, because you helped me to be able to continue to help my family. And it meant a lot to me. Severe dehydration, Marisol. That's not even possible. How does someone gain 5 pounds? Unless but I feel like not only was his food and water withheld, I feel like she had to do something else. And it wasn't just that. She removed his pillows too. She's had animosity towards me for a long time. And I would always report to the nurse manager. I would report to the owner. Nothing ever changed. I just decided to stop going to the care home when she worked, because obviously she had a problem with me. I did not want it to affect my husband's care, so that's fine. You have an issue with me for whatever reason, I just won't go when she's working, so that she doesn't feel irritated and then take that on him. And She never messed with him. Until now. Vaughn always has a pillow under both of his legs, but his knee is turning inward a little bit. So I asked that the pillow be folded so that it keeps his knees elevated. And I told her, I already put it there. You don't have to move him. She's like, so you want a pillow under both of his legs? And I'm like, well, normally you guys already do put a pillow under there. But this time I'm folding it to help it from turning inward. So she's like, okay, well, do you want a pillow in between his legs too? And I said, it depends on how he's positioned. Right now, he does need one in between his legs because his knees are too close. So she's like, okay. I said, but he's already situated. You don't have to worry about that. She's like, okay, I'll pass it to the next person. So then the next day I get there and I walk in the room and Vaughn's 125 heart rate and he looks stressed. Now, Vaughn's had heart rates higher before, but you could tell he's like calm. He was very stressed. And I'm like, what the? I go move the sheet because I do red light therapy on him every single day. And I notice he has no pillows under him. So I'm like, okay, they're all on the couch. So I go to the couch, grab the pillows, fold them, put them under him. And whenever the new home care worker or the new person, caregiver came in, I said, hey, if you don't mind, can you please fold the pillows under his knees? I go through the spiel. She's like, that's weird because so-and-so told me that your new request is to have no pillows. And at that point, I lost it. Oh, I lost it. Because I've always stayed out of her way. You know, there's a picture on Marvan's phone. I always left Marvan's phone with him. I would always leave it with him so that he can listen to music. And it just seemed like so many people would turn off his music. It's crazy. It's crazy how people legit turn off something that's supposed to soothe my husband. It's sad that people don't give him the dignity because they feel some type of way. Just crazy. Anyways. So that really upset me because there's no way that there was miscommunication. There's no way that there was misunderstanding. She asked me questions to make sure she understood what I was talking about, and I confirmed and verified to make sure that she knew we're on the same page. Yes, this is the same thing. She had to deliberately remove a pillow under each of his leg and then say, oh, this is what Andrea wants. Someone who is bedbound, their bodies are going to kind of conform to the position that they're normally in. So although he's turned every 2 hours, it's still in a similar position. So to move the blanket or the pillows all together, whenever normally he has that oomph, it's making his legs go straight. So those muscles that are normally bent are being stretched out. Is this the reason why why he was so stressed? And then another medication, I asked them to stop because he was on a medication for a long time. And then his nurse told me, I think this medication, I think he's having tremors because of this medication. And I'm like, really? She was like, yeah, it's a side effect. And once they come, they'll never go away. And I'm like, okay. Well, when he got it on that medication, he was doing these like hiccup things. He was like, like on my TikTok or on my Reels, you could see that certain videos where Vaughn's doing that, like that. Well, he got on a medication and it stopped it. And I was amazed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's good. Sometimes he would have them, but then he would stop. But eventually, the doctor reduced that medication. And tremors was like very light. And she only reduced it by half. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so with the reduction of the medication, I'm thinking, well, I need to make sure he's not like the hiccups, you know? But they're not hiccups, but it's just, he would do that every single day, literally. Well, I she had taken it half, and it had already been like several days. I don't even know if it was a week yet, but it was several days, and he did really great. He responded great, and his body was so calm and relaxed. So I called her and I said, hey, is it possible if we could try to get him off all the way? She was like, well, let me talk to the pharmacist and make sure that she has no objections, but, you know, you're well within your right to, if this is not a medication that you feel he should have, then that's okay. We support you. But we will, we'll get back with you. So, you know, I prayed about it. That's serious, you know. One accusation about me is I always refused, or how do you say, I didn't let Vaughn have medical care, or something about I didn't give him medicine, or I didn't let him have medicine, or something along those lines. That was a rumor being spread out. So, you know, I take those decisions to, should he still have this? Should he not? Should I take away? Should I not? I take that very seriously because I don't want to do anything that's not going to be good for him. I'm always thinking about the betterment of him and how he's going to fare. And I felt comfortable with them taking it away because the purpose that he needed it, he didn't have that problem anymore. So if you don't have that problem anymore, you don't need the solution anymore.
That's not always true though, because like if the medicine is keeping you from having that problem, then you stop the medication, the problem could come back. I mean, it's like mental health, like bipolar. You know what I'm saying? You take medicine for bipolar, and then you don't act bipolar anymore. You're calm, and you seem, you know, to not have the symptoms of someone with that's bipolar, right? And I know this in so many cases. People that are bipolar, they get on medication that works, and months into it, they quit taking the medication because, well, they're not bipolar anymore. They're good. And then they stop taking that medication, and they have terrible side effects, and their mental health goes haywire because they were on medication that worked, and all of a sudden they're not on it. And some medications you just can't stop taking. You have to be weaned off, but then the problem will come back. So, I mean, maybe this was a case where this wasn't one of the medications, but, you know, I'm thinking, because she's like, well, he wasn't having the problem anymore. But yeah, but this isn't like a UTI, you know, where you take an antibiotic and it gets rid of the problem. This was suppressing the problem, more than likely. Like, did it fix whatever was causing him to do that?
Basically, that's how I seen it. And especially, she was okay with taking him off, but they don't make just a decision. One person makes that decision. With the VA home health care team, you have to talk with your home-based care group. So eventually, that same day, that day that I went to go visit Vaughn and he was stressed, they had given him that medication that I asked them to hold. And he was tremoring bad, very bad, worse than whenever he was normally on it. And I'm like, oh my God. But that day, new orders came in and his nurse decided to discontinue it. But that's frustrating because I had asked them to not give that to him because the effects that it is having on his body, and they gave it to him anyways. I'm glad it's discontinued. I'm glad it's not going to be an issue from here moving forward. But the fact that it even was, that's just another thing that really bothers me, because Vaughn should be getting exceptional care. No matter what people feel, no matter their opinion, when you're in the medical field, you do your job. You care for the patient. You don't judge them based off of should they be alive or not. What kind of mess is that? What kind of hate in your heart do you have? Like, that's sad. Now I see there's, you know, if Vaughn was declining, then I would understand. Like, if Vaughn was doing bad, and he truly was everything that the doctor said he would be, then I would get it. We don't need to prolong torture. But Vaughn's not being tortured. Vaughn's not in this insufferable state. Vaughn is in a state of healing. And from the get-go, dude, from the get-go, all I would talk about on my lives is how I only want positivity, positive energy. You got low frequencies, I don't want it. Don't pity me. I even go my videos. Please, if you pity me, feel bad for me, that's a low frequency. That's not going to help my husband to heal. Please don't send it my way. That's how I always was. Because I wanted positivity only around him because he deserved that. And with all of this, it just made my life so much harder. I remember the same Facebook page that started all of this. They had made a post and said, well, Andrea says she's living her best life. So, and some of you guys said you should wait because her husband has a brain injury, but she says she's living her best life, so she's good. What? Bro, when you see me happy, when you see me smiling, it's not because I'm without a struggle. Internally and physically. No. My life completely changed. Never in a million years could you have told me what my life would have been like. Ever. Ever. And never. And I'm in a whole new state, or not state, a whole new city. This is not my home. You know, I just grab my children and leave, like my dogs, and leave. And then there were creators that were bashing me for taking my children to an Airbnb, bashing me for having my children in an RV.
Who did that?
My husband had it.
I don't know who bashed her for taking her kids to an Airbnb or an RV, but from what I've seen of that RV, it's better than some homes I've seen. I mean, she got a pretty nice RV, and I do think some creators went too far. You know, who cares? That's a nice RV, and she had to take it to go be closer to her husband. I do think there were things that was just ridiculous. That RV is a nice RV. And sometimes circumstances cause for you to have to be in uncomfortable situations. Maybe the kids would have been more comfortable in a house, you know, in their home. Those are insults I never heard. So, you know, if somebody said it, I don't agree with that.
Attempted. I don't live in Tucson. What else was I supposed to do? Buy a house immediately? Rent immediately? I don't know how long the condition he's going to be in. I don't know if we're going back home to you. There's a lot of things I don't know. But I'm trying to figure out, and I'm trying to do my best. And I know that I have children that look at me and hold on to my energy. Whichever way I move, they follow. So why wouldn't I want to set an example that my children can follow? When bad times happen, that's when you really get on your knees and you pray. And you pray hard. And then when you are done praying, let me read this, what my mom sent to me today. Is it not on this phone? Oh, here we go. I have learned that living in expectations of trials is often more challenging than actually going through them. We show trust first, then God takes us by the hand and leads us through the valley of deep shadow. The only thing left for me to do is not to let go of his hand. And this whole time, I haven't let go of his hand, and I'm going to continue to hold on to his hand. And despite what other people say, I'm so grateful for my children are so grateful for their dad being alive. How can you wish him the opposite? Don't do that to him. But even if you do, I rebuke that energy, and it is not welcome around my family at all. What's hard for me to witness is how happy my children are around their dad and yet they can't share that happiness with others because it's like a sad thing. Oh no, it's like people look at it as detrimental and I'm so sorry. Yeah, we can't change our life. You know, I have found so much peace in not stressing over the things that I have no control over. You can't live a happy life focusing on the things that you have no control over because you're just going to stress yourself out and get no positive results. You focus on what you can control, and you can control how you to react to certain situations. That's it. The only difference between successful people and like in business and people that are unsuccessful or have quit businesses is that successful people, they've fallen, but they haven't stopped. Everybody is going to fail. Everybody is going to fall. But successful people, they just keep going. That's how they get successful, is that those failures are not stumbling blocks. They're an obstacle, but you could use it as a stepping stone. So do that, you know? And then there's people that look at life with the glass half full and some that look at life with that glass half empty. I would rather be the type of person that looks at the glass half full and focuses on my blessings in life. What can I be grateful for today? As bad as it is with what happened with my husband, my children have their health. What? As bad as things are, things can always be worse. My children have their health, and my husband, he has a struggle, but we are so strong-minded. We are such a tight-knit family, and we have so much hope and faith for the future. And we live such a good life now with Vaughn still, despite the condition that he's in, and despite the fact that he has more healing to do. I'm going to be by his side every step of the way. As long as he keeps fighting, I keep fighting. And when he feels like enough is enough, then baby, I respect his wishes. But he hasn't shown me that yet. In fact, before I left, he gives me his cute little blinks too. He did that yesterday before I left, and today he did it again. He does his little blinks while he stares at me. It's the most beautifulest thing. I have a lot more things to talk about, and maybe things will be more organized with my lives.
Girl, I gotta pee.
Talk about things in the future. This was kind of sudden because this is really serious. And what I would appreciate is that if social media were to either show support or just take your leave. Let me be able to continue to provide an income, because all these people who made great money off of speaking on me and my family, who ain't never told the truth, come on now. Allow me to be able to provide an income because it benefits Bella, Oasis, Raza, and it benefits my husband. And if you ever want justice for Vaughn or ever care about him, then you care about the people he loves the most. You can't say you care for Vaughn and you do this to me and you do this to his children. I want to be able to create a safe place for my babies to talk about how excited they are about all the things that happens with daddy. And you know what I'm going to do now? Once I finally get a house so I can bring my baby home, I'm going to go and get either an ambulance or a van with a gurney access. And I'm going to buy a gurney. I've already been looking online and shopping for some. And when Vaughn gets out and I get him home, I'm going to take him, my damn self, to his hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy appointments so that he can get the help that he needs. Because he has people that want to help him. I just have no way of getting him there. And whatever I can do to save my husband's life and to give him a fighting chance at having the best life before paradise comes, then I'm going to do that. And I'm going to continue to fight for him, be by his side, breathing life into him, telling him it's okay, it's safe, I got him. He doesn't have to worry. All he has to do is rest and heal, and I got the rest. He ain't even got to worry about anything. I'm going to continue to do that. So whether social media provides me a safe place or not, I'm going to still come online and do my thing regardless. Nobody ever ran me off social media. People act a fool, and I was like, bro, y'all weird, I'm out. This is not for me. I don't have time to do the back and forth. When that initial video of huffing came out, that was so long ago. And I asked people, y'all, like, this was so long ago. Like, that's, my husband has a brain injury. Bro, he's in a coma. I'm not worried about something that I did 3 years ago. Like, this is real life. I got to focus on this. But people kept bringing it to my videos. And it's like, it's one thing for them to post the negativity, but then it's the minions that go and spread it and spread the lies. You know what I would like to see is the people that took a hand in spreading false information. You take a hand in spreading right information and talking about how bullying is not okay. And how if you have concerns, you take it to authorities and you leave it in their hands. That this public crucifixion, this domestic terrorist mob type action online was absolutely unacceptable. And it was disappointing, to say the least, that this is what humanity has come to. But I will go live and talk about a lot of things, especially the fact that there's been so many lies. People that y'all, I try to warn you. And I said, anybody that donates, you deserve to get your money taken. And I don't want anybody to.
Okay, Unirock, Unirock, nonsense. All these people say, if you donate it, you deserve to have your money back. Dre herself said, if you donate it, you deserve to have your money taken. Which, I'm gonna tell you guys this. I've seen no evidence that anybody scammed or stole anything. People donate it, and when I first heard of people wanting to help, I heard it was, at first it wasn't even a lawyer. People were saying so she could go see him. So she found out where he was so she could go see him. She was going to have to take off work. She was going to have to drive or fly, food, a place to stay. So people was like, there was people that donated just to help. Then the lawyer thing come up. People started saying, maybe you need to get a lawyer. Maybe you need to get a lawyer. Here, a lawyer. I donated as well. I donated to Marvin Sr. as well as Miss Letitia. Because I'm like, I believe that they are his parents. I saw the video of Vaughn excited that he rekindled a relationship with his parents. So it's my belief that he would have wanted his parents to know what was going on with him and be able to see him. So I wanted to contribute so they could do that if Dre allowed them to. And I did feel like she should have allowed them to. That's my opinion. It may be wrong. Vaughn may wake up one day and say, "No, I didn't want my parents to know." And I'm glad Dre refused to tell them. And then I will say, "Wow, I was wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. I would say that absolutely." But her saying, if you donate it, you deserve to have your money taken. Well, then can Unirock over there shut up about the donations? Can he shut up now? Jeez, that's his big thing, the donations. And I haven't talked to anyone. I've had no one tell me that they donated and tried to get their money back and couldn't get their money back. And I do have an understanding of kind of what went down with that because I was kind of paying attention then. When Katie said it was a fraudulent fundraiser, which there was no proof that it was, no proof whatsoever that it was. People believed her. They just thought that she was telling the truth because people believe that, others are honest. So people believed it. They believed that it was facts, not that it was her opinion. Katie said, GoFundMe said this was a fraudulent fundraiser, which is not true, because if GoFundMe, if that organization found out that a fundraiser they were hosting was fraudulent, they would shut it down stat. You would not be able to donate it to it. I read the rules. I read all the guidelines to GoFundMe. If they find that a donation is, if they find that a fundraiser is a scam or under false pretenses, they shut it down ASAP. So Katie saying that was wrong, she lied. So, but people believed Katie, so they started requesting refunds. Some people, and what was happening is somebody would say, like D-Lynn would request $50 from Letitia. I donate to you. I want my money back. And Letitia would just say, okay. She was just granting them. And then come to find out, she actually got in touch with someone from the Cash App place because she was getting confused with everything. And they told her, they said, you've issued refunds to people that did not donate to you. And she didn't know. People were literally requesting money from Letitia, saying that they sent money when really they hadn't. When really they had not sent her money. But she had no idea. She thought all the requests that she was getting for money was people requesting refunds. So she sent out thousands of dollars worth of refunds. And some of that was to people that did not even send her money. So people said, well, shut it down for a second. Shut it down. Just get it, put it. There's a setting on Cash App where you could make it to where people cannot request money from you. So that's what she did to try to get it situated, because she didn't know. She was sending money to people that did not even donate to her. There was one person that requested, I think, $500 for praying for Vaughn. I could have that number wrong, but there was someone that says, you owe me money because I prayed for your son. What? Excuse me? I'm sorry, but you don't pray for someone and feel like they owe you money. The bottom line is he's in a coma. That's it. Whether or not you believe Letitia deserves to see him or have anything to do with him, that doesn't matter. Someone said about, Peggy says, wasn't Molly and Letitia involved in a fraudulent fundraiser? Not that I'm aware of. I've never seen any proof that they were involved in a fraudulent fundraiser. Unirock said I was involved in a fraudulent fundraiser. That's not true. When Without a Crystal Ball told people to flag my channel and she mass flagged my channel goes down. Another creator who I was associated with, I went live with him on his channel because I couldn't on my channel. It was down. It was before the holidays. It was before Christmas. It was at the end of November. Or I think it was November 30th. And when we got live, that creator said, all the super chats that I get today, I'm going to send them to you, Elle. Since your channel's down, it's right before the holidays. I'm gonna give you any super chat that I get. I'm gonna give it to you. So that would be equivalent to every super chat that I got while I was live here. Me saying, I'm gonna give that to Miss Letitia. Is that a fundraiser? No, but that's what Unirock said. Unirock called that a fundraiser or a super chat drive and said that it was under false pretenses. So Unirock will say that people's ran fraudulent fundraisers without any evidence, without any proof.
I don't want that. Like, that doesn't make me feel good that people were. Even though I said that, it doesn't make me feel good. That's not... There's some people that didn't know me from Adam, and they just knew it because this false story blew up. And so they're just believing everything that's said because they don't know anything about me. And then I had tons of messages. I created a whole folder in my Google Drive for those messages. I would screenshot and save them. The messages where people would say, hey, I found out about you from the negativity, and I went to your page to look to see these videos, and I'm shocked. You have my support. What they're doing to you is foul. Like those types of and so throughout all this time, always got messages from people showing support and love, and it meant a lot to me. And all the times that Slay Mafia would post in my group, gosh, that meant so much to me. There's so many times that I felt so lifted, even though I was off of here. And there's so many.
I'm glad we have you, Peggy. I'm so glad you were able to break away from the nonsense and the Unirock. we welcome you with open arms to the YouTube channel of truth.
So many good times that have happened with my family, and so many things that we're doing that are now part of our tradition, and it's fun and exciting, and I would like to show that. I'm not a perfect mother or a perfect woman. I'm not a perfect wife. I'm not a perfect servant. I'm not none of those things. I'm imperfect. I'm a son of I'm a daughter of Adam. Okay, so that's me. But I know that before this recent online villainizing of me, before that, I was looked up to a lot. And the reason why I shared so many downs is because I didn't want people to think I had a perfect life. Just because me and my husband have a good marriage, an amazing marriage, just because there are certain good things doesn't mean it's without struggle. You know, there was someone, you know, because CPS, they got all these videos that came out. They seen them all. I told them, like, yeah, there's this person, like, they've seen the video. So, you know, and I remember one time with Slay Mafia, I told them how the night before was so hard because my son, I come from being in a hospital. Again, I don't live in Tucson. Like, I'm from Yuma. I don't know this city. I'm in a city I don't know. My husband, who was by my side every single day, I'm by his side every single day, now is fighting for his life. My dogs were in this RV. Like, so much is happening, which, let me say first, my children have their own bed. Like, this is a nice sized RV. It's small, but it's great. My children have their own beds. This RV is 6 to 8 people. I have a nice fridge, 3-burner stove. I have a 2-burner stove outside. I have water, heat, AC, tons of food. Like, we have everything that we need. There was a reason why I was going to say that. I just want to hear Vaughn's side. And that's really sad that you say that, Sammy.
Wow.
A man is fighting for his life in the hospital, and all you can think of is you want to hear his side. What? This is what I mean. Like,
why would we not want to hear his side? I mean, okay, you could say it this way. Somebody's in our chat and says, I just want to hear Vaughn's side. I think we all do. And she said, how dare you? How dare you? He's in a coma and that's all you could think about. I'm sorry, but your husband's in a coma and you're giving your side. You're on your platform giving your side. So why is he not entitled to give his? And why should people not want to hear his side? Of course we want to hear his side. I do, but that's not all I think about. You know what I think about the most? Is I hope he heals. At the end of the day, he has children. He has a family. And I do think, more than likely, if he ever heals to where he can speak, because I think when you face death, you come to the realization of a lot of things don't matter. The pettiness don't matter. The animosity I held towards my mom, my whoever, doesn't matter. I almost died, and I want to reconcile those relationships, because when you die, it's done. Whatever relationship you have with that person is where it was left. So I think if Vaughn was ever get to the place where he could talk, do I think he would want to stay with her? I do. I think he loves her. I think Vaughn loves her. I think he got pushed to a place of being in an unhappy marriage due to, she had a little bit of controlling ways, financial abuse. If what we know is true, if she did not give him access to the money, if she took his phone when she found out that he was confiding in a friend, if all these things are true, I think he was led to be very unhappy, and he decided that the only option left was to just leave. But like I said, coming out of this, I think he would say, wow, damn, I almost died. I think Dre would probably have learned her lesson, and say, I screwed some things up. Now being faced with the fact that I could have lost my husband and I didn't, and he's here, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to make sure I show my husband I love him every day that I can. And I think Vaughn would say, I want to mend that relationship with my parents. I think Vaughn would have wanted his mom to know where he was. That's just my opinion. But I absolutely think everyone would want to hear his side. But my main thought has always been, I hope he's okay. Like, I hope he can make it out of this. I hope he can make it out of this. Right, Misty. That's what I kind of observed too. If the things that we heard and saw, if that's true. And I'll always say it's my opinion, and I base it off things that I saw and I heard from her, out of her mouth and his mouth and the children's mouth. But if it ever comes out that I'm wrong, and he can get to where he can speak and he can say, no, absolutely, I had access to the money, I just didn't have to at that moment because my debit card broke, so I needed to get it from her, and that's why I was asking. But then I would say, wow, read that one wrong. She wasn't financially abusive to him. I would say that. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. But I don't think for someone to say, I want to hear Vaughn's story, is a bad thing. You can get on here and tell your story even though your husband's in a coma. So why can't we want to hear his story?
You are so desensitized from human emotions that is what you think about. Imagine your husband. Are you married? Or think about, do you have a very strong bond that you have someone? Imagine they did that. Imagine you found your significant other, and that person's in the hospital fighting for their life, and what someone else says is, I want to hear that person's side. What? Do you not see the bigger issues at hand? Do you not see that? What the hell? How sick and desperate of a person do you have to be that you are taking, I want to hear.
To me, her saying this, how sick and desperate of a person you have to be to want this man's side, to want to know what he was dealing with that drove him to this position. So what he was dealing with, the reason he did this, where he was emotionally, that doesn't matter. How dare we? How dare we, the people that have come to care for Vaughn, to want to hear his side? That means we're sick? To me, that's not a good look for her to say that.
Hear his side. What if he doesn't even want to say his side?
I would respect that.
Listen, Vaughn ain't never gonna want to talk to, I know my husband. There is no coming back from what happened online. There's just, Vaughn, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How about, you know what, Andrea? I'm sending you well wishes to Vaughn. Continue to stay by his side, and please take care of him. That would be nice, Not, I can't wait to hear his side. How sad. That's so sad.
That's not sad.
That's so sad.
What?
There are people who have big families that live in RVs and travel all over. Dude, it was amazing being at the RV park because I am surrounded by homeschooling RV living people. We fit right in. We got together. There was another parent, and we would get together, and our children would do science experiments together. Like, it's amazing. My children had an incredible summer, always going to the swimming pool almost every day. Raza got dork. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. So, yeah, there's whole lives that happen, you know? Oh, you were talking about the day before. Thank you, Jessica. I needed that. I needed that reminder. Thank you. After my husband's I got blamed by his family. Tons of lies by his family. I never even met. Just ignore. I know it's easier said than done. I'm really sorry that happened to you, Jax, and I'm very sorry to hear about your husband. I'm so sorry. Okay. Anyways, going back, yes. I was so stressed. I'm coming home from the hospital from people. I mean, one time I'm in a room with like 7 doctors cornered. Cardiologists, neurologists. I think there were like 3 different neurologists. There were so many different people trying to tell me how detrimental it's going to be and how it's end of the line type of deal. That's how it was all the time. I'm not going to come home in a happiest of moods. I'm going to be stressed, fighting all day, trying to make sure my husband gets good care. And then there were so many things that would happen at the VA. Oh my God. Like, it was stressful. What you seen online didn't even come close to paint what was really happening. But that's because I don't need to be vulnerable about things I don't want to be vulnerable about. You're not entitled to information that I don't feel like is worth putting out there. Anyways, so I remember one time I came here and I was so angry. And Raza's behavior was so difficult. I mean, it was not good. And I remember being so upset. And I asked the girls to please help me. Because I felt, and I said this in a video, I felt that if he doesn't move, that I'm going to do something. And I felt that way. I did. That's how I felt, truly. It was.
That was another video that I watched that gave me a little bit of an opinion on her as a mom, where she was saying, she literally said that the girls had to take Raza, she had to get away from Raza because he was like stressing her out so much that if she didn't get away from Raza, she didn't know what she might do. Which, to me, I felt like she was insinuating that she would hurt Raza or something. And that was something that I'm like, wow, holy crap, that's crazy. Like, I've had some stressful times, but to get on the internet and admit that your other 2 kids had to get your youngest child away from you because you didn't trust yourself around him because he had stressed you out so much, that was another thing, that I was like, whoo. I'm so happy to have you here, Lauren.
That's bad. Which is why I asked for help. If y'all ain't never feel like your children are driving you crazy and you need to get up out of this house or else you are going to lose it, you're going to take it out on someone, maybe I'm the only parent that has ever felt that way. But the fact is that I recognized I felt so much anger that I know that came from that toxic place. My husband went from we're together all the time to I'm going home alone, sleeping in a bed without him no more. And that was overnight. Snap of it.
Okay, I will say I never heard one inkling that Marvon was spending money on drugs. The only drugs that I knew of them taking was like in 2019 when they were both smuggling drugs, smuggling Xanax. I haven't heard anything about that. But if I ever was to hear that he was going and buying drugs with their money, well, then I would say, well, I don't blame her for kind of keeping an eye on the money. And, after I said what I said a while ago and I put the mic back on, I kind of started thinking about it. If that's the way that she felt, I hope she went and got help. Because sitting in front of your computer saying, I'm stressed, I feel like I had to make my children get my youngest child away from me because I did not know what I would do. I did not trust myself around him because I was so frustrated. I hope she really went and got help, because sitting there telling the internet that is not going to be the help that you need. Something is not okay mentally. And Coco Chanel said Clancy did something, but people champion her, shaking my head. But this lady is horrible, but with Clancy is PPD. So that's okay. From what I heard with Clancy, she went to the doctor. She told people, she told her husband, she told her doctor that she was having suicidal ideations. She was trying to get help. She was going to therapy 5 days a week. If those are things that I heard that was true, that is better than someone just hopping on a live stream saying, I had to tell my kids to get my youngest away from me because I didn't know what I would do. He had me frustrated. So do I think it's okay for her to share that with her audience while she's getting help? Absolutely. If you feel that way, please get help. And don't be ashamed to say, I was struggling mentally to the point to where I didn't trust myself around my kids for a moment. But I am getting help. I am getting help. Because people are shamed. People with postpartum depression, they are shamed. People have babies. She ain't got no postpartum depression. She may have been dealing with some mental health struggles, some depression, something like that. But depression, postpartum depression, blah, 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 all that is shamed a lot, which is why people are scared to talk about it. If she was just sitting on there telling her followers, do I feel like that's some form of therapy to share that with her followers? Sure. Is it enough? If she's having thoughts that she could harm one of her children, is that enough just to tell her audience? Absolutely not. She needed to go speak to someone. Maybe get on some medication. I don't know. Yeah, and Vaughn had his own money. I never heard anything about him buying any drugs, so I don't know. I wonder if he had drugs in his system when this happened, because I would assume they tested him, right?
Finger without notice, no preparation, just life turned upside down, and I'm trying to deal with that. Like how hard it was. Yeah, hell yeah, I was stressed out about my son. Yes, it was not good. My children are amazing because the girls we love our life. They love our unit too. It's not just me, I love our family. No. My children are whole individuals who work hard to make our home a place of peace. We always have family meetings all the time to revisit, to make sure that we're all doing our part to make sure that there's peace in the home, so that we understand each other's languages. Because Raza, man, his behavior now he does have issues, but it's nothing like what it was before. And that was because of all these family meetings that we're having. We're trying to understand how he communicates, how we understand. Like, Raza's a whole sensitive person. So to communicate with him, we need to talk differently, because that's how he understands it. It's not based off of how I understand it. I want him to receive it. I want him to act differently. You can't get a different result doing the same thing, But when CPS asked me about that, and I'm like, yes, I was stressed the hell out. Yes, I felt like I needed my son to go. My husband's fighting for his life in the hospital, and I felt like he's gonna do great. Like I every day, all day, I would pray. I would pray more, I felt like, than I wouldn't pray. And I would always ask God, please don't give me false hope, please. I need to know that my fight for him to keep going is worth it. Is it really what you want? And every single time there would be a sign, there would be a scripture, there would be someone telling me something, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way that that's coming from anyone but God. There's no way. Because it was all I needed. But it wasn't easy. So coming home to trying to function of life in an RV now, this is my full-time life now, like it's different. I went from a 2,000 square foot home to an RV. Like, you know, my everything was different. Of course I'm gonna have hard days. Of course. Another thing that I take serious is accountability, especially with when I am wrong. And many conversations have happened with my children, apologizing to them when I feel like I am not as patient with them that I should be. And this is something that I take serious because obviously the energy that I'm getting from social media that I'm trying to rebuke, but it's really, really hard because how can your life not be affected with the internet going crazy and being so blatantly disrespectful and insensitive towards your family and treating you as if you're not a whole person, especially with the lies that we're going about that on social, like that, so many lies.
I agree, Miss Italy D. My son is on the spectrum, and I kind of got that vibe as well.
Was more untruth than there was truth. 100%. So yes, it was a very hard night. And you think that I could have, and I don't regret saying that on live. I don't regret saying it now. And the reason why is because I know that some people glorify me. I don't want the glory. It's not for me. I don't want it. But I know with social media, people start looking up to you in certain ways. I just want people to know I'm human too, and I have down moments. Like, I am praised as an amazing mother, as an amazing parent. So what I do is I show you the not amazing moments so that while you respect me, you also know that I am not perfect. So I share certain things so that you as a mother, listen, if you are feeling like, bro, this is not good, it's not healthy for me, you ask for help. I think the problem is when you don't ask for help and then you take it out on your children. And these are things that they got to carry when they're adults. That's the problem. The problem is giving your children a childhood that they need therapy for. My children are thriving. They know the truth about what the doctors say. I tell them and I keep it all the way real. But I also tell them what I believe and how I'm going to operate and how I'm going to continue in life with the mindset knowing that their dad is going to continue to fight through. And even if he doesn't make a full recovery now, I know there's a promise of a paradise that is outlined in the Bible. And I believe in it so big, a time where there will be animals, lions and snakes and goats and bunnies able to take a whole nap together. This whole food chain of animals eating animals, that's not going to happen no more. Even that's not even going to exist in paradise because every animal's going to eat grass. We're going to be under our own vine and fig tree. We're going to build our own houses and live in them. We're going to have perfect health. People that are in wheelchairs are going to stand again. People that have died have the hope of a resurrection. This is what we have outlined in the Bible, and I believe it wholeheartedly. So, but even if, let's say, the Bible is false, not real. Let's just say even though I don't believe that at all. Let's just say that. It shouldn't matter if I believe whether my husband is going to get well or not. Am I doing my duties of taking care of him? Am I making sure that he's taken care of? Am I making sure that my children are taken care of? Then that's all that matters. That's all that matters. You ain't wiping his butt. You ain't taking care of him. You ain't wash, like you don't wash his hair. You don't scrub his feet. No, never would you either. Let me let's get that straight. I'm still very protective over my husband's toes. Okay. I even showed one of my friends the difference in the way Vaughn's feet looked when he was dehydrated, where he lost the 5 pounds. 12 hours later, there's a clear difference of how he looked. He looked sucked dry, and then he looked plump. And I was livid. I was livid because I was sick to my stomach, shaking, felt like I was gonna vomit. It was bad. So I wanted to show my friend the difference. Girl, you know I had to edit that photo and cross out his toes, okay? Like, no. I love you, but no. Them toes is mine, okay? But whatever. Anyways, that's irrelevant. But you ain't taking care of the man, so you have no spot for an opinion. As long as I'm taking care of him, that's all that matters. Whether you believe what should happen, what shouldn't happen, your opinion. Oh! Let him out. Sorry, Bernard is peeing right now. I gotta go. I'm gonna have to clean up some piss, man. Okay. I am gonna be live for Slay Mafia because I miss you guys a lot. So, but this time I am gonna be looking at comments. So, yeah. Anyways, I love you too, Michelle Rutherford. Oh my God, I love you. I love you so much. Okay.
Girl, I pissed myself.
Thank you for listening. I hope what I said made sense. I didn't really look at a lot of comments, so I don't know if you guys understood any. And I just seen my doctor again today, and I decided to come back to social media after I see my doctor. Like, whatever homeopathic stuff she's getting, like, that stuff works. I'm like, whoa, it's crazy. Because I felt like I was going to be a patient at the hospital next because of what my heart was feeling. I felt real physical pain. My heart would start heart palpitations. What has happened to my husband? I'm not okay. Before 2022, despite what my husband did, the amount of blessings that I saw, when the Bible tells us that God is close to the brokenhearted, he means it. I never felt alone, not once, ever. I never felt like there was a place that I would be where God's Holy Spirit couldn't reach me. I always knew I was taken care of and that we were going to be okay. And this is no different. But it's just a little bit, no, it's a lot more upsetting. This pisses me off because for the last several months that this has happened, my husband has been progressing and improving and getting better and doing things that he wasn't supposed to do. And now we have a setback this big, and the facility wants to sweep it under the rug and not take my complaint seriously. And they know all about the social media stuff. I kept them up to date. They were aware. So they also knew I wasn't suing nobody. Like, I don't know why everybody thought I had a lawyer and their lawyer is telling me to be quiet. Like, no. And the manager knew that. So I don't know if he's sweeping it under the rug because he thinks I let everything else slide. I let people talk trash about, like, my attention is to my husband, and that's it. And now that this has happened, well, a little bit of energy has to be taken away from my husband to go make sure that these people get whatever is the punishment for their crime. So, anyways.
All right, girl.
Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for being here and supporting me. If you do, if you don't, that's okay too. We're all different people. The world is although there's a lot of negativity, it's actually still a beautiful place. You know, you could still live a very meaningful life even now. So make sure that you do things that are feel good to your soul. If I don't feel good to your soul, boo-boo, then go do something that makes you feel good and brings good energy into your home. Because you're not going to have a happy life, happy marriage while trying to turn and ruin somebody else's. It's not going to work. And I'm saying that out of hope that whoever, because I'm sure there was tons of comments that were removed and people that were blocked. I just hope that these people,
I wish you'd go clean up that daggone pee before I pee on myself, because my goodness.
just kind of think about what they say and the impact that it has. Because no matter what, whatever you put out on social media has an impact, whether for good or for not. This will be addressed. Amazing Dre, we stand with you. Period. It will be addressed. Thank you. Okay. I love you guys. Have a good night.
Okay. Holy moly, y'all. I'm going to have to make it quick because I'm about to pee on myself. We've been live for over 2 hours just on the second part of this video. The whole video, I've been live for like a total of like, I don't even know. But I'm about to pee on myself. A couple things that I want to say. I'm down to hear everything that she's got to say. We're going to watch the other video. I think she's still live right now. So I'm going to go pee, reset up to go over that live stream where she does talk more into this stuff. I want to hear everything. She says she doesn't have a lawyer. I didn't know that anybody said she had a lawyer. I'm more curious of if Miss Letitia had a lawyer. And Dre would know that. Dre would know who facilitated Miss Letitia going to see Marvon, because we were told that Miss Letitia's attorney facilitated that meeting. That's what I'm here for. I have no reason to believe that Miss Letitia lied, but you guys know that I was literally just watching UniRock the other night, and I was in my office, and I was watching something else. It went off. I was actually doing work on my phone, having my computer playing YouTube videos. The YouTube video went off. For some reason, UniRock popped up. Even though I've said a million times, I'm not interested in this loser. Please don't promote him on my channel. He still pops up. So he goes like, he's live, and he's talking about Miss Letitia never had a lawyer. And I'm like, what? That's news to me, because Katie doxed the lawyer. The lawyer was the one that we were told set up the meeting for Miss Letitia to go see Marvon. Also, when UniRock lost his balls on Molly and Justin's panel, you know that person came in here earlier, Trisha, came on Molly, said, when you were on Molly and Justin's panel, why didn't you tell them their opinion was wrong? Hell, UniRock didn't even do that. UniRock didn't even go on that panel and say, actually, you guys are wrong. He went on that panel saying, there's probably just a misunderstanding. Why didn't this happen, you guys? And they're like, we have the proof. Do you want us to send you the proof that she has a lawyer? Do you want us to send you the proof that she's refunded up to $4,000 in super chats? No, I don't need to see it. I'm going to take what you tell me, and that's what I'm going to go with, which he didn't. He lied, because he went right back to his channel saying, she don't have a lawyer. So I'm very curious if even Dre will say, yes, Letitia does have a lawyer, or she at least did, because the lawyer is the one who facilitated the meeting. Her lawyer contacted me, and we set up for her to see it. And then if she says that, I'm going to need UniRock to zip his little mouth with the whole, Miss Letitia don't have a lawyer. UniRock even tried to say, well, just because you have a lawyer doesn't mean you paid him. Lawyers will do a free consult, but they're not calling people on your behalf unless you pay that retainer. And most retainer fees are thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. What we were told was that the retainer fee was $4,000. So I'm curious. I'm glad that Dre is coming out speaking and telling us what we need to hear. I've been curious about how Marvon is. You know, I literally thought that he may have really passed. Like, I really thought he passed. I'm glad to hear that he hasn't. You know, if what she's telling us is true, that his eyes is open, that he bats his eyes at her, I'm loving that. For everyone. For Marvon, for his children, for his family, everyone that loves this man. I'm so happy about that. Now, I saw there was a discussion earlier about Kratom, and it got me curious because I know someone that took Kratom, and I thought they were taking it for the wrong reasons, to get high, because they said things that led me to believe this. So I looked it up, because I'm like, wait, I think you can get high off Kratom, but I don't know enough about Kratom to know for sure. I've never seen it other than when I walked into a store at the corner going towards, there's a corner store that sells it in bags. I've seen it, but I've never seen it, you know. So anyways, I'm like, can you get high off kratom? So I decided to look it up. Kratom abuse has been around for thousands of years. This is on the site American Addiction Center. So this is the Addiction Center, American Addiction Center. Looks like a legit site. It says kratom abuse has been around for thousands of years. Let's see. As indigenous people like laborers and farmers in Thailand and Malaysia reportedly chewed the leaves of the plant and brewed them in tea in order to combat fatigue, increase energy levels and productivity, and relieve pain and strain muscles, the DEA says. Kratom can, in effect, make someone high when abused. In Thailand, it is considered a controlled substance and the third most commonly abused illegal drug, NBC News reports. In the United States, kratom is listed as a drug of concern by the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, although the drug is not considered a controlled substance and is not illegal in most states. Kratom can be mixed with a caffeinated beverage or codeine-containing cough syrup. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm not trying to give anybody any ideas. But it can be mixed with other things to create the drink called 4 by 100 or 4 times 100. Often consumed by young Muslims in southern Thailand, this drink is said to have effects similar to alcohol intoxication. The European Monitoring Center for Drugs and Drug Addiction reports that this drug has the same effects of alcohol intoxication when consumed mixed with codeine. Anyways, in the United States, kratom may be marketed as a dietary or nutritional supplement or sold under the radar in tobacco or head shops, most commonly in a powder or tablet form. Kratom is known to have a variety of reported uses and desired effects. Ooh, from sexual enhancement to pain relief to a safe and legal high. In North Carolina, New York, and Colorado, and possibly more states, kratom may be sold as a drink called ketum. In bars, they sell a drink called ketum, and it is actually kratom. Wow. So this is what I'm reading, and like I said, this was somebody that I met through someone else. He was not anybody to me, but there was this discussion of him taking kratom for pain, but it got him high, and I was like, okay, it didn't make me none. He was a grown man. And I wasn't going to call him out on it because it's not what I do. I was going to be like, you're a grown man. How dare you take kratom? You know, older than me. He's like 50 something. So I was like, okay. But this guy he went to pain management for years, had a really bad back. And he had been taking pain medicine for a long time. And when they cut down on prescribing pain meds, he turned to kratom, and he would get high off of it, and he used it as something to help with his pain. I don't think it's the same thing as taking like morphine or anything like that, but it is reported that it can get you high. I've never taken it, so I don't know. I think it's different for everybody because Miss Italy says you've been taking it for a while, you've never gotten high off of it. Somebody else in here says you can get high off of it. Online it says you can, but I do think it may be different for everyone. I mean, I've heard the same thing with I think Suboxone. I think people saying you can't get high off of it. You can't get high off of it. I take it, I don't get high off of it. I take it, I can't get high off of it. So I think it's just different for everyone. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. You guys, I'm going to go tinkle. Sean's got to fix my sound. We'll come back and give me 30 minutes. 30 minutes, and we're going to go watch Dre's other video. Sometime today, I'm going to go over our Quentin Simon update. There was a hearing where Quentin Simon's grandmother, Billy Joe, she turned over some evidence to the judge. So we're going to cover that today too. So we're going to have a lot of content we're going to go over today. I'm down for Dre coming back and hearing what she's got to say. When it comes down to it, she does have a responsibility to take care of those kids. I've said the same thing with Janelle Evans. People don't like her, don't support what she does, but some people do, and this is her business, and she's got to be able to take care of her family. We all do, and I never called for a cancellation of anybody. I've never done that. because I don't like feeling like someone's trying to cancel me when my income helps put food in my kids' mouths. You know, I don't agree with canceling anyone. If you like them, you watch them. If you don't like them, you don't watch them. That's the way that I feel. Anyways, when you start hurting other people, that's when I can kind of see if you use your platform to hurt people. I could see canceling someone like that. But someone that's just doing their makeup, doing their cooking, and maybe you don't like the way they parent or they seem controlling to their spouse, to call for a cancellation of that person, you know, is not anything that I would do, you know. But anyways, I'll see you guys back here in about 30 minutes. I'm gonna be for so long. I love y'all. Hit the thumbs up button, and I'll be back here in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.